student want to protest a decision
Yes, that's right.
Yes. If I make a decision, I believe that before decisions are made by leaders, you consult the various councils and then the various groups you work with, like the executive body, the general council, the parliament, and even all faculties from one group, or departmental presidents to form another group. And so if these bodies are consulted before decisions are made, I believe there are so many people included, and so the general students will like it. But if there's a situation where a decision is made and the students do not like it, then what I will do is I will try explaining to them why I made that decision and why I think that decision benefits all students.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Spell Pod. I am your host, Lord, and with me, my guest for today is a very influential figure in the land of the Kumasi Technical University. He is a student leader, a student activist. He is a department president and also doubles as the representative of his department in the students' parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, man like Exponent.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Being here is a great opportunity. I'm really energized when I saw everything here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Nice to know. On campus, you are largely known as Exponent or man like Exponent. But I want us to go a bit deeper into the actual person that is. So I'd like you to properly introduce yourself and also the origin of the name Exponent.
Okay, so my name is Antwi Samuel. I think some of the people around me knows Antwi Samuel. And the name Exponent came about the fact that I had a friend in SHS, and then he used to call me Exponent. He says you are always the exponent in every situation, like the supporter or the advocate. And the other friends chose to call me by that. I think it's a name that sells itself. It is really selling. And so I came with 3 of my SHS mates here, and they chose calling me that name, and it is selling as well. So yes, that's the origin of Exponent.
All right. I actually love that, because in the space of student leadership, most people get to see the candidates, but not the story behind the candidates. So moving on, I understand that you've expressed your intent to run for SRC president. All right. So I would like to know how it came about. At what point did you decide that, yes, this is what I want and this is what I'm going for?
Okay, so my first intention to run for SRC president came about the very first day I stepped my foot into this institution. I remember my very first day, I met somebody who gave me a receipt, and then he signed and collected 30 cedis from me, and then asked me to go to my hall of affiliation. I went there, I gave them the receipt, and they said, no, that's not the receipt. I should go for another receipt, which is the whole dues. That was 120 cedis. And it was probably meaning that I've been scammed down there. And so these challenges are what motivates me that, okay, if you one day see yourself at the top there, then you should solve the major problems and the minor problems that students are facing.
Okay, that's actually a very intriguing story. It's good that leaders or for leadership in perspective, for people to actually have a background or a reason why they go for what they go for, not just them wanting it as an accolade. So I would like us to go a bit deeper into what actually inspires you besides the first story you gave. What other things have you seen on this land? Because I believe you've been here for over a year. You've seen what has been going on. So what exactly inspires you to go for SRC president?
Okay, various things. I would say the challenges of students are what inspires every leader to aspire for position, because the more you see challenges and then you see that these solutions can be used to solve these problems, and you get motivated that, okay, I can do it, and so I should go for it. And I like this quote by Barack Obama. It says, change will not come if we wait for somebody else or we wait for a perfect time. We are the change we seek, and then we are the people we are waiting for. As well, at any moments that you think that somebody else can do it better, then that person is you. As well, I've had this motivation from my various challenges I've been seeing, and also the possible solutions I think can be used to address this.
That's awesome. And for the audience watching us who would like to dig deeper into your personality, I want them to know from you, what style would you classify your leadership as? Are you the organizer, or are you the listening type, or you have a mix of both?
Okay, so I'll say for leadership style, I'm a listener and also an organizer. I listen to a lot of things, I pay attention, and then I take from it what is best. And also, I organize a lot. And so I would describe my leadership style as leadership by participation, because I participate in everything that I get doing. I don't just watch things get done. I get them done. As you, at some moment in time, you realize that the various people you assign the duties to are getting either tired, they are angry, or they are stressed. And so at that point, you have to step in and then act as a leader to get whatsoever you want to get done. So I'll describe that as by participation. I participate a lot in my leadership.
Okay, I understand that you are currently a department president. Sure. That's for,
Computer Science Students Association.
okay, so COMPSSA.
COMPSSA.
So, one thing I want to know from you is, before COMPSSA, what other leadership roles were you involved in?
Okay, before COMPSSA, because I've served as a computer science secretary before.
Okay.
Yes, that was in the previous administration, and currently I'm leading as the president.
So that's awesome.
Okay, so it was level 100, level 200, but aside COMPSSA, then I'll say at home, because I've been working for 8 years. I've worked in a VIP company for 8 years. I've I've led there before. I've held positions, and so I know how precious and how difficult it is to solve problems. And I've been able to tackle a lot of problems there too.
Uh, That's awesome. It's good to have a blend of these experiences in the build up to what you're aiming for. So you have a bit of both from the previous and this institution as well. So on to my next question. What personal value, because I've been hearing you mention lead a lot, the word lead. So what personal value or principle do you believe in will guide you in this path you've chosen, that's leadership?
Okay, for my personal values, I would say I can handle a lot of pressure, and also I can do so many things at a particular time. Like I said, I've been schooling all my life, and I've worked for 8 years. That is quite something that is not so straight, but yes, I've done it. I've been schooling, I've been working. I came to lead in KSTU, and I've been doing good in my administration too. It means I can do so many things at a particular time, and then I've handled a lot of pressure too. I think these two values are really moving me.
That's very laudable. And also, with all you've mentioned, it shows that you're a visionary. You see things probably the way other people don't. So I'd like to know from you, what's your vision for this institution, granted you are being elected into office?
Okay, for my vision for KSTU and in leadership per se is a community where inclusivity is involved, and also a community that is supportive, community that every student voice is heard and then valued. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, what you just mentioned, inclusivity, it's something that's also dear to me. And I want to know from you, in what ways would you make the student body feel included in your administration, or would their voice feel respected in your administration, granted you're being elected into office?
Okay, I think taking feedback from students really matters, because every individual likes to be heard, regardless of him being a student or not. But everybody wants to be heard. And so if the needs of people are heard and attended to, it is far even achievable than you bringing a whole policy to solve a solution that the students think is not I don't know if you are getting my point, but um attending to the individual needs of students really matters. And so if I say inclusiveness, it means every student voice is heard, every problem is attended to, and everybody feels like, oh, okay, then my voice is being heard. That is inclusiveness.
Okay. So I actually like the way you've gone about your answer. I like to move on with my next question. Then my next question is actually something is related to something you said pretty recent. And I would like you to go deeper into it. And that is, you've been in this campus for a few years. You've seen administrations go. You've seen their pattern, how they lead the students. I want to know from you, what does Exponent bring to the table that is unique from these past administrations and current administrations?
Okay, I wouldn't like to talk about policies because even though the SRC lays down policies to help the general student body, assisting in the individual lives of students really matters. And so I will talk about challenges that individual students are facing that is get helped. That if every student challenges get helped, then we've made a successful administration because if I am a student and I feel like I needed this and then I've been attended to, and every other student sees the same thing, then it's a successful administration because the various people you came to serve are impressed with what you are doing. The policies are there. Policies are policies. There are great policies to solve great problems. I believe there is a solution to every problem, hiding behind thinking, rethinking, and actively involving. And so policies can be done. There can be great policies to solve great problems, but the individual voices of students also matters as well. And so attending to these challenges and these problems are what I think I can do best.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are great policies to help the students. Now, I want us to delve deep into your leadership style. So, I have two scenarios here I would like to share with you just to know how you go about it and to let the student population know that you are here for them. All right, so this scenario one. Say there's tension between two student groups. How would you step in and manage that?
Okay, I'll give you a precise example, like a faculty and department having a conflict about a program. That is mostly what happens on campus. And so if there is a faculty and a department facing this challenge, what I'll do as the leader of the student body is I will engage these two bodies. I will listen to why they think what they are doing is right, and then I'll make a decision that is favorable to both parties. Because if everybody feels like they are right, then there should be a decision that lies in between that favors this and favors this. It shouldn't be one-sided. And so yes, listening to them can bring a possible solution that is really accurate.
Okay. So you are approaching this from the listening angle. Yes. All right. So this brings me to my next scenario. What if the SRC granted being led by you? Obviously, you serve as a mediator between the students and the management. Yes. So supposing that as the mediator, you take a decision of which the student populace is not happy about, how would you go about it?
Okay, as in if the student want to protest the decision,
Yes, that's right.
yes, if I make a decision, I believe that before decisions are made by leaders, you consult the various councils and then the various groups you work with, like the executive body, the general council, the parliament, and even all faculties from one group, or departmental presidents to form another group. And so if these bodies are consulted before decisions are made, I believe there are so many people included, and so the general students will like it. But if there's a situation where a decision is made and the students do not like it, then what I will do is I will try explaining to them why I made that decision and why I think that decision benefits all students. But whatsoever decision that comes out, should be in the interest of the students because they are the people we serve.
Okay, that's good to know. There's one thing I'm really interested in asking you because I also happen to be a student of KSTU. Um, the SRC, we both know, serves as a mediator between students and the management. And for mediation to actually be effective, communication has to be good, basically. So I want to know from you, granted this opportunity is being given to you, how are you going to disseminate information properly from the management to the student populace within the SRC, granted you being elected, and also from the SRC down to the students?
Okay, since I've led in an administration before, I know that in student politics, every leader is an intermediate between management and the students' body. And so, for you to implement something, you first need to convince management and make sure whatsoever decision you are making is in the interest of the people. And so I believe that good relationship really matters. Maintaining good relationship between the management body is really important, like a father and son relationship or a mother and son relationship. Before you can get something from your father or mother, it has to be a good relationship so that they do it out of love or out of the fact that they are trying to help their son. And so maintaining good relationship matters. And I also see communication, how you approach your policies, how you explain to management what you want to do, and why you want to get that particular thing done is really key. And so communication is really, really important. I think these two can help bring good initiatives into KST.
Okay, that's very interesting. And I would like to know from you. You've mentioned already that there are good policies for the people of KST. They are just not at liberty to share them yet. Yes. There will come a time where obviously you would share these policies with the students of this. And I want to know from you, how sure or should they be that these policies or these promises that you'll be making will not just be just that as in by word of mouth, but they're actually enforceable things that are really doable and you are in the capacity to do them.
Okay, I'll say that I've realized that there are things you thought of before getting the position, and then after getting it, you realize it is quite impossible. And there are things you never thought of, but after getting the position, you realize you can do it. And so every policy I bring forth, it comes out of the fact that I am experienced. I know that these policies can be done. I know the several places I will visit, the individual things I will do to get them done. With every policy has been thought of, has been officially, should I say, scrutinized to know that okay, these policies can be really done. As in, when I bring forth the policies, it has plan, it has something that is backing it. It has ways that can get them done.
All right. That's great to know. We are almost at the end of our segment, but moving on, I'd like to us to touch on a few things before we come to an end. And I would like to know from you, granted you are given this opportunity as the next SRC president of the Kumasi Technical University, what is one of the first things you would look at?
Okay, for my first, should I call it policy or initiative? I'll say I'll take various ways to collect feedback from students, their expectations, their questions, and then answers, because it is them that put us in a position we want to be, and they are the people we are coming to serve. And so the very first thing I'll do is I'll find an online or maybe a various ways to take suggestions from students, what they expect in the next administration, things they would like to get done, the problems they feel like should be solved. And then I put this to draft a good and then a concise policy, something that can be done in the administration. Some of the policies don't even need money. It's something that you are going to advocate. Understand? And only students who are facing these challenges can address these issues. As if you get it from them, you come up with great ideas in the next administration.
Right. That's awesome to know. So your first will be to actually gain information. That actually proves what you said earlier, being a listener.
Yes, sure.
All right. So this brings me to my final question. I wouldn't even call it a question. It's actually an opportunity. I'd like to give you a few moments to address the audience, introduce yourself, and also the reason why you're choosing this path and why did you support. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so and good day, KSTU. My name is Antwi Samuel. On campus, they call me Exponent, so you can choose to call me that. I am an SRC presidential aspirant, the current computer science president. I've served in an administration for 2 years, first as the secretary and as the president now. I've solved problems that I feel like were so deep, and then I brought them into a final solution. I believe I can do a lot of things when I'm given the mandate, and this time I need your help. We are the change we always look for. And so if you want to give somebody the mandate to lead in the SRC, then consider my speech and then consider my words too, words I come to say.
He came to serve, ladies and gentlemen, man like Exponent. Now, this brings us to the end of our segment, and I must say, it has been a very great episode. I enjoyed listening to Exponent. I'm sure you also did as well. And to Exponents, Charlie, all the best. I hope the audience have listened and have made the right decision. So I wish you all the best in the moments ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. So this brings us to an end of the Spillport episode, or should I say the leadership segment. I am your host, Lord. See you next time. Peace.